I'll write an engaging 800-word story for Part 1, the discovery in third-person style using simple, basic English and Korean names. Abandoned alien babies, rescued by heroic human courier. The alarm on Jin-Ho's ship beeped 3 times. He looked up from his book and sighed. Another day, another delivery. Jin-Ho worked as a courier for Starpath deliveries, taking packages across the galaxy. Most days were boring. Today seemed no different. Jin-Ho checked his navigation screen. He was passing through the quiet Taiyang system. Not much happened here. Most ships avoided this area because of small space rocks that could damage engines. Computer, how long until we reach Nexus Station? Jin-Ho asked, stretching his arms above his head. 4 hours and 23 minutes, replied the ship's computer in a calm voice. Jin-Ho nodded and went back to his book. Suddenly, a red light flashed on his dashboard. The computer spoke again. Warning, unknown object detected nearby. Jin-Ho put down his book and looked at the screen. What is it? It appears to be a small vessel. No engine activity detected. It is drifting. This was unusual. Jin-Ho felt curious. Change course. Let's take a closer look. The ship turned smoothly toward the mystery object. As they got closer, Jin-Ho could see it through the front window. It was a small escape pod, designed to carry people away from a damaged ship. The pod looked expensive but had burn marks along one side. Scan for life forms, Jin-Ho ordered. The computer was quiet for a moment. Scan complete. 5 small life forms detected. Species unknown. Life signs weak. Jin-Ho's heart beat faster. 5 lives in danger. He had to help. Bring the pod into our cargo bay. The ship moved carefully. Metal arms extended from its side and gently pulled the pod into the cargo area. Jin-Ho grabbed his emergency kit and hurried downstairs. The pod sat in the middle of the cargo bay. It was smaller than Jin-Ho expected, about the size of a small car. The door didn't open when he approached. Computer, help me open this pod. After several minutes of work, the door hissed and slowly lifted. Cool air with a sweet smell flowed out. Jin-Ho peered inside and gasped. 5 small containers lined the walls. Each held a tiny baby. But these weren't human babies. Their skin shimmered with a light purple color. They had no hair, and their eyes were closed. Each baby floated in a clear liquid inside its container. Computer, what are they? Jin-Ho whispered. Species identified as Lumi, a rare alien race from the outer systems, known for advanced technology and avoiding contact with other species. Jin-Ho checked the containers. Small lights on each one blinked red. What's wrong with these containers? Life support systems failing. Estimated time remaining, 6 hours. Jin-Ho felt angry. Who would leave babies alone in space? He noticed a small box next to one container. Inside was a data chip. He plugged it into his reader. A message appeared. These 5 show the mutation. They cannot stay with us. Do what you will with them. Jin-Ho couldn't believe it. These babies were abandoned because they were different. The thought made his stomach hurt. Computer, can we save them? Our medical bay is not equipped for Lumi physiology, suggest contacting nearest space station. Jin-Ho checked his maps. The nearest station was 12 hours away. Too far. These babies had only 6 hours, he thought quickly. What about my stasis chambers in the medical bay? Could we adapt them? Possible, but risky. Would require significant modifications. Jin-Ho made his decision. Show me what to do. For the next 3 hours, Jin-Ho worked non-stop. He modified his ship's medical equipment to support the alien babies. With gentle hands, he moved each tiny baby from their failing containers to his newly adapted chambers. Their skin felt cool and smooth, like touching water that had taken solid form. As he placed the last baby in its new home, the little one opened its eyes. Jin-Ho froze. Large silver eyes stared at him. The baby made no sound, but Jin-Ho felt a strange warmth in his mind, like a thank you. The ship's computer interrupted. Warning, Lumi vessel detected entering the system. Jin-Ho looked at the 5 babies now safely in his medical bay. By law, he should return them to their people. But he remembered the message. These babies were thrown away. He couldn't give them back. Computer, plot a course to Sanctuary Station, maximum speed. That will delay your delivery schedule by 3 days. Jin-Ho smiled at the 5 tiny passengers who now depended on him. Some things are more important than packages. The ship's engines roared to life as Jin-Ho prepared to outrun the approaching Lumi vessel. His simple courier life had just become very complicated, but for the first time in years he felt truly alive. Jin-Ho's ship hummed quietly as he studied the 5 alien babies in his modified medical bay. The Lumi vessel had been following him, for 3 hours now, keeping its distance but clearly tracking his ship. Computer, how are the babies doing? Jin-Ho asked, watching their tiny chests rise and fall. All 5 Lumi infants are stable. Their vital signs are improving, the computer replied. Jin-Ho nodded with relief. He had managed to escape the Taeyang system by hiding in a dust cloud, but he knew the Lumi would keep searching. He needed to understand more about these babies. Computer, analyze the data chip we found in the pod. The screen filled with strange symbols and eventually translated to Korean and English. Jin-Ho read carefully. According to the records, these 5 babies carried a rare genetic change. Normal Lumi had abilities to sense emotions, but these babies could actually share thoughts with others. The Lumi leaders feared this power and ordered all babies with this trait to be removed from their society. They were thrown away because they might be too connected to others, Jin-Ho whispered. How sad. A soft beeping sound came from the medical bay. Jin-Ho rushed over to see the baby with silver eyes was awake again. As their eyes met, Jin-Ho felt a gentle touch in his mind, like someone holding his hand without touching him. Hello, little one, he said softly. The baby made no sound, but blinked slowly. Suddenly alarms blared throughout the ship. Warning! Lumi vessel approaching rapidly. Weapons systems detected. Jin-Ho ran to the control room. The Lumi ship was much larger than his small courier vessel. They were preparing to capture him. Computer, can we outrun them? Negative. Their engines are superior, Jin-Ho thought quickly. He couldn't fight and couldn't run, but maybe he could trick them. Set course for the Gyeongju asteroid field, he ordered. Caution advised. The Gyeongju field is dangerous for ships our size, the computer warned. I know, but the Lumi ship is bigger. They'll have even more trouble. Jin-Ho strapped himself into his chair. The ship turned sharply toward a dense field of spinning rocks. Jin-Ho had delivered packages here once and learned the tricky paths through the dangerous area. The Lumi ship followed, firing warning shots that shook Jin-Ho's small vessel. Entering asteroid field in 30 seconds, the computer announced. Jin-Ho closed his eyes briefly. I hope I remember the way. The ship dove into the field of tumbling space rocks. Jin-Ho piloted manually now, his hands dancing over the controls. Left, right, up, down. The ship twisted and turned between massive stones that would crush them instantly on impact. Behind them, the Lumi ship struggled to follow. It was too large for the tight spaces. A small asteroid struck its side and the vessel slowed. They're falling behind, Jin-Ho said, smiling. But his victory was short-lived. Warning, fuel levels critical. Damage to right engine detected, the computer reported. Jin-Ho frowned. They might escape the Lumi, but now they were low on fuel in a dangerous place. He needed help. Computer, scan for any stations or outposts nearby. After a moment, the computer responded. Small mining outpost detected. Designation, Hope Station. Distance, 40 minutes at current speed. Set course for Hope Station, Jin-Ho ordered. As they cleared the asteroid field, Jin-Ho checked on the babies. All 5 remained stable, though the silver-eyed one watched him intently. Again, Jin-Ho felt that strange connection, but stronger now. An image appeared in his mind. A tall, thin figure with purple skin walking away from the baby's pod. Think you're showing me who left you? Jin-Ho said softly. The baby blinked twice. When they reached Hope Station, Jin-Ho was surprised to see a small, rusty facility built into a large asteroid. The station looked old, but functional. Unidentified. Vessel, state your business. a female voice said through the communication system. "This is Jin-Ho Park of Starpath Deliveries. I need emergency repairs and fuel. I can pay." There was a pause before the voice replied. "Docking permission granted. Bay 3. Jin-Ho carefully guided his damaged ship into the station. Before leaving to meet the station crew, he checked the babies one last time. "I'll find help for you," he promised. "You're safe with me." As he walked toward the airlock, Jin-Ho felt a wave of gratitude in his mind. He looked back at the medical bay and smiled. Somehow he would protect these 5 abandoned children, no matter what it took. The airlock hissed open and a woman with short black hair waited on the other side. "I'm Misun," she said. "What brings a courier to our little station?" Then she noticed his worried expression. "And what are you running from?" Jin-Ho took a deep breath. "I need your help, and I have 5 very special passengers who need it. Even more." Misun studied Jin-Ho's face carefully. Her dark eyes narrowed with suspicion. "Special passengers? What kind of trouble are you in, courier?" Jin-Ho hesitated. Hope Station was small and remote. If Misun decided to report him to the authorities, or worse, contact the Lumi, he would have nowhere to run. "I need your word that what I show you stays between us," Jin-Ho said firmly. Misun crossed her arms. "I run a station on the edge of nowhere. Secrets are our main business." She nodded toward his ship. "Show me." Jin-Ho led her through his small ship to the medical bay. Misun gasped when she saw the 5 purple-skinned babies floating in the modified stasis chambers. "Lumi children," she whispered. "How did you—" "I found them abandoned in a pod. They were left to die because they're different." Jin-Ho explained about the genetic mutation and the baby's telepathic abilities. Misun touched the glass of the nearest chamber. The baby inside turned toward her hand. "I understand being different," she said quietly. "The Lumi want them back?" "Yes, but not to save them." Misun was silent for a long moment. Then she tapped her wrist communicator. "Tae-woo, come to docking. Bay 3. Bring Junseo too, and be discreet." Within minutes, 2 men joined them. Tae-woo was tall with strong arms and a serious face. Junseo was shorter with round glasses and nervous hands. "These are my most trusted people," Misun explained. "Tae-woo handles security. Junseo is our medical expert." Junseo immediately began examining the babies and Jin-Ho's makeshift life support system. "Impressive work for emergency conditions," he said, "but they need proper care soon." "We need to get these little ones to Sanctuary Station," Jin-Ho said. "It's the only place that might protect them from the Lumi." Tae-woo frowned. "Sanctuary? Station is 3 days from here even with the fastest ship, and the Lumi will be watching all the main routes." "Then we need a plan," Misun decided. "Junseo, what supplies do we need for the babies?" While Junseo made a list, Tae-woo checked. "Jin-Ho's damaged ship. Your right engine is badly damaged. Repairs will take at least 2 days." Jin-Ho shook his head. "We don't have 2 days. The Lumi will find us." Misun's eyes lit up. "Maybe that's exactly what we want." "What do you mean?" Jin-Ho asked. "We have an old mining ship in Bay 5. It's ugly, but the engines work. We can transfer your identification codes to it and send it on a course toward Nexus Station. The Lumi will follow it." "While we take the babies another way," Jin-Ho finished, understanding her plan. "My brother has a small transport ship, Tae-woo, and he makes unofficial deliveries. His ship doesn't appear on standard scanners." As they discussed details, Jin-Ho felt a familiar touch in his mind. The silver-eyed baby was awake and watching him. This time, the mental connection was stronger. Jin-Ho saw flashes of purple skies and tall crystal towers. He was seeing the Lumi homeworld through the baby's memories. The next day was busy with preparations. Junseo improved the life support systems for the babies. Tae-woo's brother Minho arrived with his smuggler's ship, painted deep black to avoid detection. "Why are you all helping us?" Jin-Ho asked Misun as they loaded supplies. She rolled up her sleeve, revealing a strange pattern of scars on her arm. "The Lumi aren't the only ones who reject those who are different. I was born with an unusual ability to sense electrical fields. On Earth, they wanted to study me like a lab animal. She smiled sadly. Everyone at this station has a similar story. We protect our own kind, the unwanted ones. Just as they finished the preparations, alarms blared throughout the station. Lumi vessel approaching, announced the station's computer. Requesting permission to dock. Mi-sun looked at Jin-ho. Time to go. Take the maintenance tunnels to Bay 7. Min-ho is waiting. Jin-ho carefully moved the baby's chambers to Min-ho's ship. As he secured the last one, he felt a surge of fear that wasn't his own. The silver-eyed baby was sensing the danger. It's okay, Jin-ho whispered. We have friends now. From the small viewpoint, Jin-ho watched as the decoy ship launched from Bay 5, broadcasting his courier identification. The massive Lumi vessel immediately changed course to follow it. Min-ho's ship slipped out from the other side of the station, running dark and silent. Jin-ho looked back at Hope Station growing smaller behind them. Thank you, he said softly to his new allies, even though they couldn't hear him now. The journey to Sanctuary Station would be dangerous, but for the first time since finding the babies, Jin-ho didn't feel alone. Min-ho's black ship glided silently through the darkness of space. Inside, Jin-ho watched over the 5 Lumi babies. Their purple skin glowed softly in the dim light of the medical bay. The silver-eyed baby was awake again, watching Jin-ho with curious eyes. 2 days until we reach Sanctuary Station, Min-ho said, entering the room. He was shorter than his brother Tae-woo, but had the same serious eyes. If we're lucky, the Lumi will chase your decoy ship for another day before they realize the trick. Jin-ho nodded. Thank you for taking this risk. I know smuggling people breaks many laws. Min-ho smiled. These aren't people, they're cargo. Very special cargo. He looked at the babies. I've transported illegal goods for years, but never something this important. Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared. Min-ho rushed to the control room with Jin-ho close behind. What's happening? Jin-ho asked. Min-ho's fingers flew across the control panel. 3 ships approaching, not Lumi design. The screen showed 3 small, fast ships moving toward them. Bounty hunters. The Lumi must have offered a reward. Can we outrun them? No. But we can hide. Min-ho turned the ship toward a nearby gas cloud that glowed green and yellow. The jade mist. The gases will hide our heat signature, but they'll also damage our outer hull if we stay too long. The ship dove into the colorful cloud. Outside, the space filled with swirling green gas that hid the stars. The bounty hunters followed but slowed at the edge of the cloud. They're scanning for us, Min-ho whispered, as if the hunters might hear him. But they can't see us here. Jin-ho returned to check on the babies. To his surprise, all 5 were now awake, their eyes open and fixed on the ceiling. The silver-eyed one turned to look at Jin-ho, and suddenly, a strong wave of fear hit his mind. The baby was sensing danger. What's wrong? Jin-ho asked, though he knew the infant couldn't answer with words. An image flashed in his mind. The green gas outside their ship flowing inward, hurting the babies. Jin-ho realized what was happening. Min-ho, he called. The gas is leaking. Into the ship! It's poisonous to the babies! Min-ho checked his sensors. You're right. The hull is damaged worse than I thought. We need to leave the cloud, but the bounty hunters are still waiting. Jin-ho looked at the 5 tiny lives depending on him. He couldn't let them die. An idea came to him. Can you send a distress signal? Jin-ho asked. Yes, but that would bring help for us and trouble for you, Min-ho replied. Not if we send it on a Federation emergency channel. By law, any Federation ship must respond, even to help criminals. Min-ho smiled. Clever, and once Federation officers are involved, the bounty hunters will stay away. He set to work preparing the signal. Within an hour, a large Federation patrol ship arrived. The bounty hunters scattered at the sight of it. Min-ho guided his damaged ship out of the gas cloud. This is Captain Yoon-ji of Federation Patrol Ship Defender. A woman's voice came through the communication system. Identify yourselves and state the nature of your emergency. Min-ho looked at Jin-ho, who nodded. They had agreed to tell the Asobio truth. It was their only chance. This is transport vessel Black Wind, Minho replied. We have hull damage from the Jade Mist and are carrying 5 infant refugees who need medical attention. Prepare for boarding, Captain Yunji ordered. When Captain Yunji entered the ship with 4 officers, her stern expression changed to surprise at the sight of the Lumi babies. Lumi children? Explain this, she demanded. Jinho told her everything, finding the abandoned pod, learning why the babies were rejected and their plan to reach Sanctuary Station. Captain Yunji listened quietly. When Jinho finished, she studied the babies for a long moment. Federation law forbids interfering in Lumi affairs, she said finally. I should return these children to their people. The silver-eyed baby looked directly at Captain Yunji. The captain suddenly gasped and touched her head. What was that? She whispered. They can share thoughts, Jinho explained. They're showing you why they were abandoned. Captain Yunji was silent for a long time. Then she straightened her uniform. My patrol route takes me near Sanctuary Station. I could transport these children for medical treatment. Officially, I never saw you or these babies. Relief flooded through Jinho. Thank you, Captain. As they carefully moved the babies to the Federation ship, the silver-eyed infant reached out and touched Jinho's hand. A feeling of trust and gratitude filled his mind. I'll see you at Sanctuary Station, Jinho promised. We've come too far to be separated now. Sanctuary Station floated like a silver jewel against the darkness of space. The station was shaped like a wheel, with 12 spokes connecting to a central hub. Gardens filled with plants from 100 worlds grew inside glass domes along the outer ring. Jinho stood nervously in the main council chamber. The room was circular with seats for representatives from different species. Captain Yunji stood beside him, her Federation uniform gleaming under the soft lights. The council will see you now, said a tall woman with short gray hair. 5 council members entered and took their seats. The leader was Director Suk, an older woman with kind eyes and a serious face. We have reviewed your request, Director Suk said. You ask for sanctuary for 5 Lumi children. This is unusual. Jinho stepped forward. These children were abandoned to die because they're different. They have special mental abilities that frightened their people. Director Suk frowned. The Lumi government has contacted us. They demand the return of what they call defective specimens. They threaten to cut all trade with Sanctuary Station. Jinho's heart sank. After everything they had been through, would the council give the babies back? May I show you something? Jinho asked. The council nodded. Jinho brought forward the medical pod containing the silver-eyed baby. The infant looked at each council member in turn. Suddenly, Director Suk gasped. The other council members also reacted, touching their heads or closing their eyes. They showed you, didn't they? Jinho asked. They showed you their memories of being abandoned. Director Suk nodded slowly. Such clear images. I felt the cold, the fear. An alarm sounded. A young man rushed into the council chamber. Director, a Lumi warship has entered our space. They demand we turn over the children immediately. The council members looked at each other nervously. Jinho stepped forward. Throughout human history, we've made terrible mistakes. We've rejected people who were different, who had abilities we didn't understand. Each time we learned the same lesson. Diversity makes us stronger, not weaker. His voice grew stronger. These 5 children have a gift. They can connect minds, build understanding between different peoples. They don't deserve to be thrown away like trash. The council was silent. Finally, Director Suk stood up. Send a message to the Lumi ship, she ordered. Tell them that under Section 12 of the Galactic Refugee Treaty, these 5 children have been granted protected status by Sanctuary Station. The Lumi might attack, one council member warned. Then we will defend ourselves, Director Suk replied. Firmly. Jinho Park is right. We cannot send children back to face certain death. The next day, Jinho sat in the station's medical center. The 5 babies had been moved to special chambers designed for their needs. Doctors were amazed at their quick recovery. The silver-eyed baby was especially strong. A doctor named Young Mi was running tests on the infant. These results are incredible, Young Mi told Jinho. The baby's brain shows activity patterns I've never seen before. The telepathic abilities are real and growing stronger. What will happen to them now? Jinho asked. Young Mi smiled. The council has approved a special program. The children will be raised here, taught to use their abilities for good. They need guardians, though. People they trust. Jinho felt a familiar touch in his mind. The silver-eyed baby was watching him. This time the mental connection showed. Him not the past, but a possible future. The 5 children growing, learning, becoming a bridge between different species. I'm not qualified to raise children, Jinho said. I'm just a courier. You're the one who saved them when everyone else would let them die, Young Mi replied. That seems like the best qualification to me. 3 days later, the Lumi warship finally left. They had issued threats, but didn't attack. News of the 5 special children had spread throughout the galaxy, and many worlds had offered support to Sanctuary Station. Jinho sat in a quiet room with the 5 babies. They were out of their chambers now, lying on soft blankets. The silver-eyed one, whom Jinho had started calling Min, reached out a tiny hand. Jinho gently touched it. We have a long journey ahead, he said softly. But this time we're not running away. We're moving toward something better. As if understanding, all 5 babies turned to look at him. In his mind, Jinho felt their connection, not just to him, but to each other and to the future they would build together. Outside the window, stars shined brightly in the darkness of space. For 5 abandoned children and 1 courier who couldn't look away, a new life was just beginning.